podcast brought to you by 106th Street Tire and Wheel over on 10601 Northern Boulevard, Corona, New York. Sports Talk with Lou and Boogie. What is going on? Episode number 36. Boogie Hollis, what is going on, my brother? How has your week been?
Week has been good, man. You know, entertaining basketball playoffs. We'll get into that.
A lot.
You know, the Yankees are finally showing some life here. The Mets caught a little snag with the Nationals, but I ain't worried about it. You know, we playing the Braves right now, so you know it is what it is. You know,
Mets already trying to give up. Mets already trying to blow DeGrom's win for today.
Yeah, Islanders in trouble. You know what I'm saying? Liberty doing what they do. You know, it's whatever. New York sports, baby. That's what it is, man.
It is what it is indeed, Boogie. And we've had a very, very interesting week of NBA basketball. What's up, Uncle Vin? Yeah, you know, I want to be, before we get into any topics, you know, you're bringing up the Yankees winning. I want to be excited, just so everyone knows that the Yankees have won the last 5 of 6.
Where's your
it's over there somewhere. I took it off when DeGrom stopped pitching because that's the only thing that's good about watching this Mets team is Jacob DeGrom and other 2 starters. But for now, just Jacob DeGrom. But I'm not too excited about this Yankees win the last 5 of 6, Boog, and we'll talk about that when the Yankees come. But if you're a Yankees fan, don't get too hyped up that they've won 5 of 6. We beat the Blue Jays and we beat a good Oakland Athletics team, but we usually beat the Athletics. So I don't want to hear that. We got to beat the 2 teams that are our kryptonite at the moment. That's the Red Sox and the Blue Jays. But
let's talk about what everybody's here to talk about.
Let's talk about the Brooklyn Nets, baby. Boogie Hollis, tell me your thoughts going into this game and after the game as well. Talk to me.
Well, like I said earlier, like in the last show that we had, I felt that the Nets had a great opportunity to still win this series. But the grit of Milwaukee, you have to tip your cap to them. They grinded this out. I mean, Giannis, you know, he played excellent basketball, but the unsung hero is Chris Middleton, man. That guy was playing basketball. I mean, he didn't have a great shooting 7th game, but he did just enough. You know what I'm saying? And then, like I said, Tucker, I mean, he looks overmatched when he's going against Durant all game, but
everyone
gotta give that guy credit, man. The dude's 6'4", you know what I'm saying, playing like the best 7-footer out there, you know what I'm saying, shooting, dribbling, doing middies, everything, you know what I'm saying, under the sun. So you got to give that guy credit. Now, I'm not a guy that uses injuries as excuses. I'm not that type of guy because, like I said, nobody gave the Lakers, you know, any slack, you know what I'm saying, because they had their injuries. So I'm not going to give the Nets any excuses as far as that's concerned because, like I said, at the end of the day, you still got Durant playing. And this guy right here that you see in my background, Joe Harris,
Joe Brickers,
who had a horrendous series. I mean, he's having a horrendous playoffs, to be honest with you. The guy is shooting 32% from 3, which is the same percentage as Ben Simmons at the free throw line. Now,
how does that happen?
That's not good.
Happen?
So, as much as you want to blame everybody else for that, a lot of the blame got to go to this guy. And a lot of the blame has to go with Nash because for me, Nash, I mean, he's a rookie coach and everything. Yeah, Joe. You got lucky with this pick. You got lucky with this
one. No. Before anything. You
got lucky with this one.
Before you say anything, Boogie, Joe Algieri, who just said I told you so, he said that the Hawks were going to have a better record than the Brooklyn Nets.
And they didn't.
They didn't.
They didn't.
But they did finish further in the playoffs.
Right. So that's not what he said.
That's not what he said.
That's not what he said.
But I'll give you credit that they still did well. Yes, right. For picking the Hawks. I'll give you that.
But like I said, these were definitely extraordinary circumstances because in any regular circumstance, this wouldn't be the case. But it is what it is, right? It is what it is. This is what we got. This is what you got in front of you. You got the Nets with just Durant, half of a Harden. They lost. You know what I'm saying? Right. At the end of the day. So now, where do they go from here, Lou? Because not for nothing, Dinwiddie already said he's not re-signing. He's not picking up his $12 million. Blake Griffin, he's on. I mean, obviously, he's going to be a free agent, so and he's old. So do you re-sign this guy? DeAndre Jordan wasn't even used. You know what I'm saying? Steve Nash. I don't understand. And I'm sorry, I'm gonna let you answer this question, Lou. But this is just things that I'm just getting off my chest right now. Game 7, you got James Harden injured.
Yeah.
Right? You played your bench like they weren't there. Like Jeff Green had 12 minutes, no field goal attempts.
Yeah.
Right? You had Shamet, 6 minutes, no field goal attempts. Then you had Claxton that was in there for like a half a second. You know what I'm saying? How do you burn out your starters like that in Game 7, and especially an injured Harden? So like, there's a lot of factors here that I just wasn't understanding. Lou, you gotta like help me out here. Help me out, Net fans. Talk to me.
Right. So here's the thing that I will say. Right. It's Game 7. Right. Usually in playoff circumstances, we don't see a lot of the bench, right? Because you have guys who they just fill in for the main guys during the season so that they don't get burnt out. I understand this was a do or die thing, but when you have James Harden, who just got diagnosed, as Boogie said, with a second, grade 2 hamstring strain, right? You have no Kyrie Irving. You have Joe Harris, who's playing like absolute dog shit. And all you really have is Kevin Durant. You have got to try to change up the lineup a little bit.
Got to do something.
And because you're burning these guys out. Kevin Durant, and we're gonna play the clip of what Kevin Durant did with his first
great series, by the way.
Great series, yeah. With his first shot that he got the tying in overtime, and then the one that he had the air ball in the last shot. But that just goes to the pure exhaustion that Kevin Durant had, that he felt that he had on his shoulders, right? Like, you're Kevin Durant, one of the best shooters in the last 30 years, right? And all the pressure is on you, and you have no one helping you out, because James Harden, in my opinion, was absolutely like useless, right? And Kyrie, and you know what, Lucky, I kind of agree with you there. Kyrie should have manned up, but you know what happens?
I'm not going to lie to you. That's easy for you guys to say, but y'all guys saw how his ankle was.
No, his ankle got twisted.
Like,
I know.
Like, that's not a fake injury right there. You know what I'm saying? I've had that injury. That's not something that you can just go play
that
an NBA level game.
He was walking on it just fine when he was high-fiving everyone.
Walking.
He was high
but look at his game. He cuts and stops. You can't do that with that kind of ankle, man. He'll be looking worse than James Harden did. You know what I'm saying? James Harden couldn't even run a fast break. He would be sitting there and he'd give him the ball back, bro. Like Kyrie couldn't have played, bro.
But
like,
I know. I'm just kind of giving
now,
you
if
shit.
You want to now during the regular season. Now, see, this is what I'm talking about. During the regular season, doing all them shenanigans that they were doing, this is what hurt them, doing them shenanigans. So now, what do they do next year? What's gonna happen next year? Are you gonna now? Maybe we got 82 games next year. You know what I'm saying? So now, what are you gonna do now? You're gonna do even more sitting out and stuff like that. Like,
so here's the thing with next year, Boog. That's kind of scaring me, right?
Yeah, but not that short of time, Desmond. That's a short time, bro. Like, they played every other game. You know what I'm saying?
So my thing with this whole thing is this: it's not like the Nets or the Knicks, right? Where the Knicks fans are thinking, you know what, we can make this work with this team, but we need like one all-star to kind of like come here, right? You can't say that with this Brooklyn Nets team, because they have 3 major all-stars on their team. Superstars. Plus, you can do the argument that Blake Griffin was almost back to old Blake Griffin self, all-star Blake Griffin self. And you had a semi-all-star, Mr. shooting 47% from the three-point line prior to the playoffs, Joe Harris. So there was tons of opportunities and tons of potential for the Brooklyn Nets, and they had it, and then they lost Kyrie, which is something that we were all talking about. We were all talking about that if injuries stopped this team, that they would be in trouble. And if they were
injuries are a part of the game. Like I said, I'm not using injuries as an excuse. Injuries are part of the game.
I know they're part, but we all said it, that if they were all not healthy, that this might happen. And look what happened. He got hurt. Kevin Durant had to take the team on his back, and it wasn't enough.
And almost won.
And almost.
I mean, look. I mean, look what he had to do here. Look what he had to do here just to get to overtime. You hear the audio?
Yeah, I hear it. Yeah.
I say you hear the audio?
Yeah, I hear it. Yeah.
Let's look at him now, Jeff Green. Gets it into Durant. Here is Durant moving on Tucker. He turns. He shoots. Yes!
Unbelievable shot, man. Between him and Dame Lillard hitting shots like that. Now, notice how he's upset and everybody else is going crazy. He's mad because he wanted to shoot a three, but he realized that he had his big shoes on this game and his toe was on the line.
Right, should have worn those size 16s instead of those 17s.
Kevin Durant.
Kyrie, sit down, man.
If the replay has confirmed the off-ball decision is a 2-point field goal.
Look at this shot
right there, right? Yeah, that's
Tucker
really
did
good.
everything he could do.
On the line, and it looks like from that angle, it was on the line. Still a beautiful
and
shot.
Tucker just got out of the way of fouling him too.
Off balance, fading away. Tucker in
Tucker
his face
did everything he could do
and able to concentrate.
That was a great shot, bro.
No, great shot. Great shot. And you know what, Rob? You're right. Kevin Durant is not that point guard guy. But that's why they had Kyrie Irving there, right?
And
that's
James Harden.
And James Harden.
Right.
But when Kyrie Irving is hurt and James Harden is basically a half a person, who else supposed to run the floor there for them?
Yep, because James Harden only could bring the ball to half court apparently, and that was it. Then get out the way. You know what I'm saying? But he did a better job. I mean, he did a better job offensively. That 7th game. But the thing is, he literally said that he didn't play any basketball against nobody, not even in practice. He just went straight off the limb and went into an NBA game, which is unheard of. You know what I'm saying? So you got to give James Harden some type of credit. As soft as we want to call these guys, James Harden is one of those guys that always wants to play. You know what I'm saying? And obviously he wasn't up to snuff, and that's the result. Now you got Kevin Durant playing 50-something minutes. You know what I'm saying?
53, played the whole game, 53 minutes, the whole game.
Exerted all his energy on that shot, which led him to shoot the last shot of the season for the Nets.
Down to 10 seconds left. Harden back to Durant. Guarded by Holiday. Durant.
Almost such a similar shot. You got to be under the basket, bro.
With 0.3 of a second remaining.
He's like, oh, man, I'm tired. My season's over.
113-111 lead.
The funny thing is, he poses after this, like he made it. See how he does that pose at the 3-point line?
At the smaller defender on Holiday who got into his space.
You can't pose an air ball, buddy.
Durant asked to do so much, as you said, Marv. 53
as he saw his season,
48
GG's, season over.
Coming up with just a little short here down.
Give him credit though, man. He's the
listen.
Great basketball player.
And Sezzy, just so you know, we're not giving them shit. We're just saying that Kyrie, that KD needed some help here, right? Like, and Steve Nash only played the same 5 or 6 guys the entire game.
Did you notice? He brought the ball up and gave the ball to James Harden, and then ran to James Harden. He's like, "Oh yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, that's right. You can't do nothing."
Right.
Let's get the ball right back.
Right. Yeah. No, he was out of fuel. 100%. He was out of fuel. You know, and I give him the credit. I give him all the credit in the world. But I'll tell you right now, all New York fans, you guys better unite together because the Atlanta Hawks took out the Knicks and the Atlanta Hawks took out the Brooklyn Nets. So if you're not cheering for the Milwaukee Bucks right now, that's a problem. My opinion. But where did the Nets go from here, Bug? Listen, here's the thing.
In trouble. The Nets. Let me tell you why the Nets are in trouble.
Yeah.
There is no possible way that they're gonna enter next season and not have championship or that's it, because their window is very small, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, these guys are aging, they're not young, you know, and teams are starting to get better around them because, like I said, you see the Hawks here out of nowhere. They built a quiet, nice team here and going far. The Bucks have been working constantly every season to improve and building people around Giannis. The Knicks, surprisingly, they're a couple of moves away from actually being a threat. So you got all these teams in the East that are improving, and you guys are already at your plateau because you don't have much cap space to sign another superstar. So basically, you're gonna have to get another lightning in the bottle, like another Blake Griffin-ish type of signing, you know, saying, for the cheap. You're gonna have to get those, and hopefully that holds you up because, I mean, at the end of the day, those 3 guys, if they're not healthy going into the playoffs, It's going
to
be
lose
the same thing over and over again. So the pressure's on them, man.
And here's the thing, too, right? The season that Spencer Dinwiddie had last year, not the year that just happened, the year before he got hurt. That is multi-million-dollar contract, right? So if you have 3 superstars on your team, how do you afford someone like Spencer Dinwiddie? You don't. You're going to have to ask Blake Griffin to come back on a very minimal contract. And, yeah, Robert said that Blake Griffin wasn't the way that he was, but he was playing enough that he was making a difference in the team. He wasn't old Clipper great Blake Griffin.
He did a lot. He did
a lot.
He shot key 3-pointers. He was getting rebounds. He was down there. He was making.
He did a lot. He did. And you know what? If Blake Griffin wants to win, he's already getting he's already a multimillionaire. He might just say, "Fuck it, let's get this working. Let's go." Yeah, agreed. And they might. You know what? They might. But if I had to pick a team right now, then between the Bucks and the Hawks, I picked the Bucks to win the whole thing at the beginning of the year. So.
You might as well stick with that opinion.
I'm sticking with that.
Like, like I said, they're doing amazing things like that. They played a lot of grit against the Nets, man. Like they got blown out completely the first 2 games and still kept their minds in it. Because if you get blown out like that in the playoffs, you just completely lose focus, and they didn't. So that's a credit to their coaching and a credit to the players that they got there. You know what I'm saying? So that's great.
They were down twice. They were down 2-0 in the series. They tied up the series. Then they lost game 5. So now they have to win 2 games, 1 in Brooklyn in order to make the Eastern Conference Championship, and they pulled it off. Yeah. And you got to give the Bucks credit.
You have
and again, like I said, I told you Drew Holiday at the beginning of the year was going to be a factor for this team, and he sure helped.
Man, I'm gonna tell you right now. You gonna talk about Drew Holiday? That dude was clanking it that whole game until the end when he caught fire.
I know.
So he's very lucky because he was about to be called the reason why they didn't win.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And Chris Middleton. I mean, listen, a guy who I thought got overpaid when
he didn't have a good shooting game either, but he's definitely showing.
But he had a good game 6. He had a really good game 6.
Yeah.
So
good player. Good
player.
A really good number 2.
Yeah, definitely not a number 1.
Really good number 2.
He is definitely a good number 2 to Giannis. There's no
because he makes up for Giannis's weaknesses as far as like Giannis can't shoot. You know what I'm saying?
Right on the outside.
So he helps space the floor out. And like I said, with Holiday and all the other pieces that they put around him, now they can't put that wall up, from him like they was doing in the past. So now he's
even Brook Lopez. Brook Lopez is 90 years old. He's still making a contender out for them.
Shooting threes, though.
Yeah, it's good. So now, who do you think who do you think is going to win between the Bucks and the Nets, and how many games?
I'm going for the Bucks. I'm going for the Bucks because I'm tired of that look that Trae Young be giving, man. That thing's getting under my skin. So, he's doing. No, don't let me get you guys confused. Trae Young is doing exactly what he's supposed to be doing. Right. You know what I'm saying? He's out there. He's acting really cocky out there. He's shooting big shots. I mean, he's playing a heck of a point guard out there because this is definitely a different Trae Young than like in his past season because he's still not shooting like tremendous, but he's shooting clutch shots. He didn't even shoot that his game 7. I think he didn't even score that much.
No,
right?
in game 7 until the 4th quarter, he was 2 for 15.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like I said,
he's still not shooting
well, but the thing is, he's still getting them lobs. He's putting them in the right position. He's running the team. You know what I'm saying? So, and Herder, they had Herder. Like, come on, man,
killing it.
That's what Joe Harris was supposed to do. Exactly what Herder was doing. That's what Joe Harris was supposed to do. And Joe Harris failed the Nets. Okay,
a lot.
So, I want the Bucks to win. You know what I'm saying?
How many games do the Bucks win? What's the series?
It might go 6. Honestly, it might go 6 because you can't count the Hawks out. You know what I'm saying? Like they're a young, scrappy team. They just gotta stop that lob, man. Like that lob, because it's either the lob, the floater. You know what I'm saying? And that confuses teams. And once it's some way that has to get defended. I mean, like the 76ers, they did a pretty good job on it most of the time, but they lacked firepower because Ben Simmons decided he don't want to shoot. What did he do? He shot 3 shots in the 4th quarter for the whole series. Like, if you're going to be the second best player on the team, you have to want to shoot. You can't like he gave up that dunk for
that dunk, right?
You can't do that if you're gonna be the second best player on the team. You have to want to score. You understand what I'm saying? And like I said, this is something that's not new. Like it's not new that this guy is an offensive liability. Everybody knows that 76ers has been working on this dude constantly, but for some reason he got Alfred Payton syndrome and just can't score. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just can't score, but he does everything else. But he has to be able to score to be the number 2 guy. So, and he's still young. What's his fourth season?
Fourth season.
So he still has the capability of learning how to have some type of offense, but he let his team down. You know what I'm saying? There's only so much that Embiid could have did in that series.
No, I know.
I know.
You know, and Harris didn't show up either. Harris wasn't.
Right.
It was. You know, I feel bad for players like Embiid, but because Embiid deserves to get there, but your team is only as good as you're only as good as what your team performs, right?
Yep.
So, and Trae Young and them have proved that they're good. Yep. And I honestly think the Bucks. Honestly, I think the Bucks are gonna. I think this is the Hawks' reign of being over. I think the Bucks end this series in 5. To be quite honest, and I think the Suns. I think we're going to see a Bucks Suns championship. And I think it's going to be a
let me tell you something. That Suns Clippers series is going to be real fun. As you can see, Paul George is not being pandemic P right now. So
no, well, he can't be because Kyrie's hurt. I mean, sorry, Kawhi's hurt.
Yeah.
So
he's doing well. He's doing well.
He is. He is.
All right, let's go to your team now, man. So let's talk about your team. I don't know why you're so upset. I mean, the guys are winning. They swept the Blue Jays, right? They took care of business with the A's, right?
Yeah, now we're playing the Royals.
Now you're gonna play the Royals. I mean, you guys are on like a little winning situation here. What's the problem?
The problem is Boogie, is that we are still 6 games out of first, and we're still 6.5 games out of the wild card. That's the problem right now.
So is this do or die?
So here's the thing. In order, the Yankees are beating teams that they're supposed to beat, right? You're supposed to at least win the series against the Blue Jays. We swept them. Perfect. You're supposed to win the series against the A's.
Why?
We did.
Why? Why are you supposed to? They're the second best team in their division.
Because we're the Yankees. We're always supposed to.
Yeah, but see, you can't have that with the Yankees if you're crying about being third place and stuff like that. You can't say this. That's the oxymoron there. You gotta make up your mind. We're the Yankees or we're not the Yankees.
No, we're the Yankees who can't beat teams in the AL East. That's the problem. The Yankees can't beat the Boston Red Sox, and the Yankees can't beat the Tampa Bay Rays. And listen, we've only played 2 series against the Rays and 1 series against Boston so far. And out of those series, we only won 1 out of the 3, right? We got swept by the Rays once, we got swept by the Red Sox once, and we won 2 out of 3 games from the Rays. Last time I checked, we're 2-7. That's bad.
You guys slept on the Red Sox, though. Y'all thought the Red Sox was trash, but, they're proving not to.
They're right. I know. And they're a very big surprise because I did not expect them to do as well as they are doing.
As you see, Lou is very upset by
I'm very upset. I'm throwing
his light around.
I'm throwing my light around. Right. But that's why I'm saying that it's going to be very hard for the Yankees to come out of this because they're only 5 games up. First off, they're only 5 games over 500, right? They're 6 games out of first against a very tough Tampa Bay Rays offensively and pitching-wise, as well as a really good offensive Red Sox team right now. So it's hard for me to be optimistic. I'm just looking at the Yankees are the 3rd best team in the AL, and that's not in the AL East, and that's not going to cut it. It's just not going to cut it.
So are you telling me that you guys are not improving right now? You're not in no aspect of the game right now since you guys went on that little slump. And now that you guys are winning, you're saying this is a product of the teams that you guys are playing, and this is not any improvement that's happening on the field?
It's a little bit of both. But I think it's also the teams that we're playing. I think we had good matchups. We had good hitting matchups. We had good pitching matchups. And against the Rays and the Red Sox, it doesn't matter what the matchups are. We lose. We can't beat them. They have us figured out, Boog, and it's super. The most exciting thing was the other day, and I know you're going to play this clip for us, was that Aroldis Chapman once again was about to blow another save for us. And then what happened? We lucked out. We tied the MLB record for triple plays in a season, play that for us, Bo, because I have to get.
That's part of the highlights.
Oh, it's part of the highlights. Never mind. But
this guy,
I was super excited.
Why do we prep before the show?
Why do we prep before the show? I know you're right.
Why?
But that's the only thing that was super exciting for me this week with Yankees was that we performed a triple play to win a baseball game. And you see Aaron Boone's face? If you saw that, Aaron Boone. Oh God, thank God we got that out because the Yankees have not been playing great. They haven't. I'm sorry, Yankee fans. I'm super excited that we've won 5 out of 6 games, but
you guys are never satisfied, man. Like you gotta, it's a stepping stones. You got to start winning in order to get closer to first place, right? So right now your team is starting to win. So you can't be optimistic and say, you know what? I think the Yankees are starting to get back in stride because this is what we do. You know what I'm saying? Second half, we start, we start paying attention to the regular season. We get our ducks in a row, blah, 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 blah. We the Yankees, right?
The only thing I will say, Boog, is that DJ LeMahieu and Gary Sanchez have actually been hitting lately. I'll give them that.
Well, that's a start.
That's a start. I will say that. DJ LeMahieu has had 3 home runs last week. Gary Sanchez had 2 home runs last week. Gary Sanchez's batting average is up to 230 something right now. He was 190 2 weeks. His batting average 2 weeks ago was 180. I'm very happy for that. Thank you, Gary, and thank you, DJ. But we're still in trouble. This is not going to be a good season for. This is not. If we can't beat the Red Sox and we can't beat the Rays, I'm going to go put on my freaking Citi Field hat on.
You have plenty of more games against these teams.
And that's the problem. That's the problem, Boog.
But you can't look at it as a problem. You got to look at it as a challenge. I mean,
we can't beat them.
You're supposed to be the winners of this division. So you can't be like walking around with your tail between your legs. You got to be like, you know what? I want to face the Red Sox. I want to face the Rays. I want to show them that we're better than them. Not, oh my God, we got to play them. Like,
we're not.
If you're going to do that, then what's the sense of even watching the season? Then? What's the sense? If you already got that defeated attitude, then what's the sense of watching?
I'm just being realistic that on paper, the Yankees can't beat these teams. They just can't beat them.
Yeah, winning 90 is going to be a tough task, Vinny.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be a tough task.
Yankees are on pace to win 85 games. And that's not going to be enough. And that's what I'm upset about is that's not going to be enough to go into the playoffs. It's just not. It's not. Because the A's are hot. The Athletics are hot. I'm sorry. The Angels are hot. The Athletics are hot. The White Sox have been killing it. The Indians have been killing it.
Wait, is it the Athletics that you said that the Yankees were supposed to be are hot? You said?
Yeah, they're playing really well. I just said we had good matchups against them. That's the only reason why we won. We shut down Matt Olson. You see the numbers that Matt Olson has been doing this year?
Yeah,
killing it, absolutely killing it. And we stopped him. We stopped him from hitting bombs off of us.
So do that against the Red Sox.
They can't. They can't, bro. I'm telling you.
Why are we talking about the Yankees?
Watch Yankees.
If this is all
you are a Mets fan. You are not a Yankees fan. I watch every single game. Every single game, bro. The Yankees.
I'm a Mets fan. I know about losing. I'm an expert on losing. Okay, and I'm looking at you right now, and you're definitely falling apart for no reason.
I don't give a shit if he's my uncle. Look, he agrees with me. Very true, Lou. He knows. Yankees can't. There's just certain teams that you can't beat, and this year the Yankees are going to have. All right, you want me to be more realistic? The Yankees are going to have a lot of trouble beating the Red Sox and beating the Rays, but it's doable. How about that? Is that better?
It is doable.
Is that better? But
it is doable because I'm telling you right now, the Yankees go and defeat them in the series. I'm pretty sure you're going to go live and start waving your Yankees hat around with no shirt on, going crazy. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just gonna be like, yeah, I'm surprised this actually happened. I have to wake up from this dream.
Yeah.
Because the Yankees sweeping the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah. Okay.
That what? That is not a thing, Bug. I'm telling you, bro. Right. It's not a thing. It's not a thing. But
well, let's talk winning baseball, man.
Let's talk winning baseball.
This is ridiculous. You bringing my mood down. You know what I'm saying? People are turning off the show. They ain't trying to listen to you cry about the Yankees.
Right.
Let's bring some winning to the show. Winning spirit right here. You know, let's talk about this winning that we're doing right now.
You talk about it because Boogie, on paper, you have no hitting, brother, and you guys are still killing it.
because
why is that?
Baseball isn't just about hitting. It's a balance of everything. You know, pitching is so important in baseball, right? DeGrom pitched the gym today for the first game of the doubleheader, bringing his ERA down to 0.5, 5 shutout innings. Again,
It's crazy.
This guy is unbelievable. I want to tell you something too. Like when he this last start when he pitched the 3 innings, this is legitimate. Like he pitched great. Obviously, you know, he struck out a ton of batters in only 3 innings. I forget the number, but the most craziest thing of watching that game was the fact that he had runners in scoring position and had got a base hit, and like the crowd, like when he got up to bat, the crowd was chanting him like he was Barry Bonds.
Right.
Like this is a pitcher that they're chanting while he gets to the plate and then delivers with a clutch 2-run base hit. Like that right there. Like,
it's,
you know,
pretty wild.
That's like I said, this guy is having a special season, and to be a fan of a team, to see stuff like this, like you just take it, you just put in perspective. Like, yo, like this might be somebody that's really great before our eyes, and I don't want to miss any second of this. You know what I'm saying? Like I caught even a little chill just him getting the base hit. Like, wow, like this guy is unbelievable. 0.5.
Right.
So 0.5. This guy is unhittable. He's actually, and today they started doing the
checking
checks,
things.
Yeah, the checks in between, and he's actually the first pitcher that they checked. So
don't you have a video of that? You have video of that.
Let's watch that.
Today is the first day of increased scrutiny for pitchers as far as sticky substances.
He's kind of laughing because he thinks it's laughable. I'm Jacob DeGrom, man. I don't need nothing in my hands. I don't care what Chris Pico say.
Between innings,
yeah, take my hat. What? Want me to take my pants off? I'll take my pants off if you want me to.
Check his belt. He said, "You want me to take it off?" They said no. They check under the belt, and now he has passed inspection.
Jeez, man, thank God they didn't go that far.
I love Keith.
Pause.
I love Keith, man. Thank God they didn't go that far.
So here's the difference, right? We've been saying all year too, Bug, that there is S tier, which is Jacob DeGrom, right? And then there's like A tier pitching, which has been like Garrett Cole, right? Garrett Cole now complaining about not being able to use stuff, right?
And DeGrom's laughing.
DeGrom's S tier laughing. I don't fucking need anything.
I don't need anything on my hand.
Like it's crazy because you know what, Bug? You nailed it on the head when you said that this is something that you don't where you don't want to miss it, right? Because let look at it this way, Bug. I grew up in 90s baseball, right? Where if you had a 2.5, 2.6 ERA, that was considered dominant, right? Like absolute dominant pitching. Like right below 3, right? That was always the goal.
If you pitched 1 something, you were godly.
Right, exactly.
What is 0.5?
What is above God?
What's 0.5? Like,
what is above God?
Give me an adjective. Somebody in the chat, give me an adjective for a 0.5 ERA. Like, what do you call a person that pitches a 0.5?
There are some guys in their career where they don't even have a 0.5 ERA for 1 game, and he has it for the whole season. You know what I mean? Like, think about that.
This is deep in the season to have that low
Think
ERA.
about this, though, Boogie. Do you know what a 0.5 ERA is?
Yes,
that means he is giving 1 run-up every 18 innings. 18 innings against the best players in the world.
I think he has 30. I think does he have 30 straight innings of scoreless pitching?
Yeah.
30 straight. I think he has 30 straight. And this is not the first stretch he had with this amount. So that tells you something else. This guy, this is what he do, and he's getting better as he get older.
Right. No, and you know it's crazy too.
And he's actually getting wins.
Right.
That's something that's different. He's 7-2.
And the sick part about Jacob DeGrom right now too is the fact that he's hitting, right? So like you're saying the whole Barry Bonds thing, this is just something you don't see. Listen,
Otani
too.
The home run derby.
Listen, right now, your AL MVP and your NL MVP are Jacob DeGrom and Shane Otani. Like that's just
I can't argue with that.
Yeah, right? Last week, Shane Otani had 6 home runs last week, and then he pitched a game where he had 6 strikeouts, got a win, and pitched 6.2 innings.
That's unheard of.
We're
What is he,
witnessing
Babe Ruth?
Right. He's the Asian Babe Ruth.
Yo,
he's killing it.
Yeah, that's crazy. What he's doing is unbelievable.
Right.
I don't know if he can sustain it, and I don't know if DeGrom can sustain it, because as you can see, he's keep getting nagging injuries and whatnot. Now, he said that he injured his shoulder from swinging the bat after he got that base hit that we was talking about. So, I mean, the dude's averaging 100 miles an hour on his fastball. Like, that's uncharted territory for him because, like I said before, he was like a high 90s fastball pitcher. Now he's just getting stronger and stronger as he get older. And now you're talking about no sticky stuff, nothing in your hands. It hasn't affected him. He's pitching the exact same dominance. So that shows you that he probably wasn't using nothing to begin with, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? But let's not give all the praise to DeGrom, even though he deserves it. Yo, Walker has been pitching amazing. And check this out. The Mets were the only team to give him a contract this offseason.
Right.
Think about that. You know what I'm saying? So we lucked out. So now let's think about that now. We got him on a 1-year contract, right? He got a 1-year contract? I can't remember.
1-year contract, yeah.
Him on a 1-year
contract.
On a
1-year
contract.
contract.
On a 1-year contract. And Conforto on the last year of his contract. So before we even get to Conforto, what do? Do you re-sign Stroman? Like, and because you know he's gonna ask for a lot of money. Do you re-sign him for a lot of money? I mean, because not for nothing, he ain't supposed to be a number 2 starter, and he is our number 2 starter, and he's pitching like a number 2 starter.
So here's the thing, Boog. I think it all depends on how far you guys get into when you guys make the playoffs, how far you guys get into the playoffs, right? Like, if you guys win the World Series this year, I feel like you got to sign him.
Well,
right?
think about this, though. Like, you're thinking really far ahead. The reason why I say that is because, remember, Walker and Stroman weren't supposed to be number 2 and 3. Carrasco and Syndergaard, who are arriving back soon, were supposed to be in those spots there. So let's just say, hypothetically, these guys actually pitch the way they're supposed to pitch once they get here. So now you're going to have 4 dominant pitching spots.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So is that a glutton of riches? Or do you? Because remember, I think Syndergaard is up for a contract too. So
he is. You're right.
So almost all of our, and DeGrom has a option to I guess what do you call it?
He has an opt out.
Yeah, he got an opt out. So like almost our whole pitcher staff could possibly be asking for money, and they're pitching like they want this money. So if you're Cohen, you're gonna have to open his wallet up, bro, and you might have to let Conforto go to keep this pitching.
Yeah,
Conforto's been hurt.
No, but listen, look, Bobby even agrees with me, and Bobby's a big Mets fan. I really do think that if Stroman continues doing what you do, and you guys go and listen, I'm gonna assume that the Mets make the playoffs. I'm sorry, I'm just going to assume that the Mets make the playoffs because the Phillies aren't a good team, even though they swept the Yankees. They're not that good of a team, and the Braves pitching is hurt, right? So, and time's eventually gonna run out. So, if you guys go far in the playoffs, especially if you guys do the system that a lot of playoff teams do, where you go like the 1, 2, 3, you know. So if your 3 starting pitchers for the playoffs are DeGrom, Stroman, and Walker, or DeGrom, Stroman, and Syndergaard, depending on like what your situation is, you put one of them in the pen, it's going to be very tough for the Mets to not want to sign them, especially if they do well in the playoffs.
I find it funny that you brushed off the Braves saying, "Oh yeah, the pitching is hurt. The Mets pitching is hurt too."
but you know what? You have Jacob DeGrom. Simple as that. We do have Jacob DeGrom. They don't have a Jacob DeGrom. They don't have anyone near close to a Jacob DeGrom.
Well, nobody has a Jacob DeGrom.
Right.
So
that's what I'm
put
saying.
that in perspective.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But now, like I said, we lost Gesellman right now he got a serious injury. Lucchesi is messed up, right? So now we're grasping at straws once again to fill our thing. I mean, Peterson has stepped up the last couple of starts, and like I said, Lucchesi was actually pitching really well. So now that the pitchers are starting to get injured. You understand what I'm saying? But I think we're getting Betances back soon and the bullpen, and like I said, we just got Lugo back. So now our bullpen has been actually one of the number 1 bullpens. So when I say pitching, it's not just starting. We're talking about the bullpen as well, because Diaz has been lights out. You know, so pitching has been carrying us. So to 100%. Go back to that point that you said earlier, how are we winning and we don't have a lot of hitting? That's because pitching has been that dominant. But the role players that we've been picking up, they've been getting clutch hits. Like even today, if you look at the game today, VR got on base and he stretched it to get an extra base off the sacrifice in the short field to get to third, and then a wild pitch and he comes home. You know what I'm saying? Like little things like that. Like we're doing the little things, like because people only think about home runs nowadays. We're playing small ball as well. So small, if you have the ability to play small ball, that means that when you're not hot enough to have a high consistent batting average, you know what I'm saying? Small ball is going to help you, especially if your pitching is good. And then, like I said, Lindor's waking up. You know what I'm saying? He's starting to hit. You know, Alonso has been consistent too. You know what I'm saying? So now, like I said, McNeil is going to be back for the second game of this doubleheader, right? Like Conforto will probably be back next week. So now that's why I said, will the regulars mess up the chemistry? Because we got a lot of these role guys like VR, because what's we call it? It's going to be back. I think he's going to be back a little later. The starting third base.
What about what about what's his name? Nimmo.
No, Nemo's another one. Center field. See, like I said, Almara has been starting now because he just got back. Because remember, the backup has been playing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, like I said, Nemo. I don't know how hurt he is because I still haven't even heard whether he's coming back anytime soon. I don't know if any of you guys know when he's coming back, but
right.
Like I said. Eventually, all these guys are arriving back. What do you do with the guys who's been holding the fort out?
I mean,
defense got better.
No, I mean, listen, it's very hard to not tell Michael Conforto, who is a former All-Star, right? Home run derby too.
I'm not talking about him though. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the infield.
Okay,
you know
so regardless, McNeil had a 350 batting average one year for you guys.
But that's what I'm trying to say. But he was cold before he went hurt.
Right.
Him and Conforto were cold before they got hurt. And what I'm trying to say is McNeil and why am I forgetting the guy's name that our starting third baseman that we got from the A's? What's his name again? The home run hitter. Come on, guys, help me out here.
JD Davis? No.
Yes, JD Davis. JD Davis is a terrible fielder. McNeil is an under average fielder, but VR at third, it's a superb defender, right? Yeah. Peraza and Guillorme, we just got Guillorme back. Tremendous second baseman defensively. So because like Stroman's a ground ball pitcher, right? So like the defense that we got has been key because this is something that we've been struggling in because we got all these bats playing out of position. Even Don Smith improved in the outfield, you know, because they had doubts about him because he's a first baseman by trade. So they threw him in the outfield. He's actually improved in the outfield. So like I said, our defense has gotten better with these backup guys because they're actually playing the position they're supposed to play. So now when we get these regulars back, will that affect our defense?
Yeah. No, listen, I totally understand that. But I mean, here's the thing though. Let's say, for instance, you keep doing what you're doing, right? And playoff time comes. But what do you do then? Do you try to put these hitters that are supposed to be hitting for you
Bobby.
In the playoffs? You know what I mean? Like, what do you do?
Like the guys that are on fire, you got to put in there. But when you talk about playoff time, defense is going to be key, especially when you get late in the games. And if you have a lead, you're definitely going to have to put I mean, not for nothing. It's not like VR number can't hit. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they can't hit. So it's not you're not taking a big dip. As you can see, we're still winning. They've been holding the fort down, keeping us in first place.
Listen, Jonathan Villar has been he was really good with the Baltimore Orioles. He had a really good season with them. He went somewhere else. I forgot where he went. The Brewers. And then when they released him and he came to the Mets, he's been playing great. And I'm glad that he's been actually playing good because he's been a very good utility guy for you, right? Like he can play short, he can play third, he can play second. That's great. But the thing is that Jeff McNeil is a better hitter than him. You know, Jeff McNeil is a better hitter than him. So maybe they take time up where they switch at second. I don't know, but I really
know because, like I said, it's a deep position at second, man.
No, I know.
You got Peraza, Guillorme, and McNeil, and then next year you're gonna have Cano is back.
Nah, they'll get rid of Cano.
I don't know. From what I heard, he's still got a lot left in that contract, man. It's gonna be hard to move.
They might drop him.
What I heard, what the craziest things that I was hearing on the internet was they was thinking about letting Conforto go put McNeil in the outfield where Conforto play, and then let Robinson Cano play second. Now, I personally don't like that. I don't think that's a good option. I think you gotta re-sign Conforto.
No, I think you dump Cano. I think you eat the money, you dump Cano.
Somehow.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Even Bobby agrees. Dump Cano.
Somehow. Once he cheated for the second time, it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? Like
It's not even that. Boogie.
You don't need that.
If he was 28 years old, I would say good. He's 37. Yeah. You know, he's an older dude now.
And he's picking up steroids for a reason.
Right. He's not 2007, 2008 New York Yankee Cano. He's 2021 New York Met Cano.
Let him be a coach for us. Give us that experience that we
just do a whole Carlos Beltran thing, and then his niece comes out saying that he cheated. Perfect. Crazy, you know? Like you don't want to be involved. Listen, as much as I loved Robinson Cano as a New York Yankee, and even when he went to the Mariners, I was pretty salty about it. You don't want a guy like that in your lineup. You don't want a guy like that in your clubhouse.
You know what's funny?
It's only going to fuck up morale.
You made a joke about it, but that actually might have been a blessing in disguise because
no shit.
I'm talking about with I'm not talking about Cano. I'm talking
about Beltran.
That Beltran thing, because I don't know if he would relate with the players like Rojas has been. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying Rojas has been making like key decisions or not like that, but he has a good rapport with his players and they like him. You know, and they're winning.
And here's the thing too, Boogie. Let's say, for instance, Carlos Beltran was the coach of that, and then the whole scandal thing happened. Don't you think that Jacob deGrom's
for sure,
whole legacy might have been blown up?
Oh yeah, deGrom's definitely cheating.
Right, deGrom. Oh, no wonder he's pitching so well because you got Carlos Beltran banging on trash cans for him in the back. You know, I'm serious though. And it was a blessing in disguise that you guys that you guys found out and you got rid of him right before he even coached.
They say things happen for a reason, and that's probably
right.
one of the things.
Can you imagine Carlos Beltran coaching a team right now? DeGrom having a 0.5 ERA, and then them finding out at the end of the year that Carlos Beltran was cheating the whole time with Houston, and then he might have been cheating with the Mets. Forget about it. It would have been awful. DeGrom's whole legacy would have been fucked. It would have been bad.
Yeah, there's nothing touching DeGrom's legacy right now.
No. Not even sicky substances, man. Not even sicky substances.
He said you could check whatever you want to check.
Yeah, check everything. All right, but let's go on to our highlights of the week, sponsored by 106th Street Tire and Wheel. Go to get your automotive stuff at 106th Street Tire and Wheel in Corona, New York. Get your automotive stuff done today. Boogie Hollis, highlights of the week. What do we have for us today?
Well, you mentioned it earlier because acting like we didn't prepare before the show. So let's go right into it. The Yankees triple play.
And now first and second to the catcher Murphy.
So can we just pause it real quick?
First.
Sure.
So when this was happening, right, I said, oh, God.
Yeah,
DeGrom walked.
The position. Yeah, wow.
So this is what happens. DeGrom gives up a hit. DeGrom walks someone, right? As you can already tell up there, he has 9 balls, 1 strike, right? So I'm going, here we go.
The sweat on his face.
Right. Here we go again. Aroldis Chapman, he was so dominant the first 3 months of baseball. The last month, he's given up like 6 runs in his last 4 innings pitched.
Because he can't find the strike zone.
And I'm saying to myself, fuck. Here we go. And then, of course, this happens.
He's looking for a substance
He's trying to
on
hold
his hat.
on. They lead 2-1.
Because can I use this sweat to get my fastball?
He's looking for some sticky stuff.
He's looking for that Space Jam stuff. 2. We have 2 years left with Chapman.
This could be
1, 2.
On the first. It's a triple play. They've done it again. 3 times a charm.
3 times
the
this year.
Yankees win 2-1. Can you believe it?
Can you believe it?
Pretty crazy. I know. And listen, I know I've been shitting on the Yankees, but that was awesome to see. And you know Aroldis Chapman said, oh, my God. Thank God this team would have fucking traded me next season if I blew this game for us, right? Because, listen, you know, a lot of you Yankee fans, you tend to think that one game doesn't cost a momentum killer. Last week, when Chapman gave up 2 home runs to blow the game against the Minnesota Twins, we wound up getting swept the series next.
Yeah.
So it's a huge momentum killer when you lose games like this, especially when you bring one of the best in baseball to close it out for you.
Yep.
Simple as that.
Yep.
Because Chapman is one of the best in the game at closing. He's just simple as that. He's one of the only guys that can throw 103 miles an hour. And then what happens?
Oh, for real. I mean, not for nothing. Michael K did a pretty good job on that one. But if Mike Bream, bang, bang,
Right. Third base, bang. Second base, bang. First base, bang. Triple play. Yeah, that would have been awesome. No, but again, I'm so glad the Yankees won that game because they wound up winning the next game too. It would have been a huge momentum killer. And now we're playing the Royals. We should beat this team. Again, our kryptonite is the AL East. I'm going to keep saying it. I'm nervous. I'm being a realistic Yankees fan. I'm sorry if I'm not being optimistic. I'm sorry if I'm not being like, yay, we're in trouble. Anyways, next game, next highlight of the week. Boogie Hollis, what do we have here?
Defensive Player of the Year, catching another helmet.
Rudy Gobert.
Man from Brooklyn.
Has got 28 points. And all set up by that attack there.
This was a good series, by the way.
Great series.
Defense and a great read by Ingles. Clippers up by 4. Low dribble. George draws a crowd. Man doesn't take the 3. Drives in. Oh, he finishes. Lawrence Mann.
From Brooklyn.
Puts it down. Literally a man's chance for El.
So
Rudy Gobert.
What a series that man had, right?
Oh yeah. No Kawhi.
No Kawhi. Stepped up. PG-13 stepping up to first time in the history of the Los Angeles Clippers that they make it to a Western Conference championship. It's nice to see. And the sick part is that they're playing against the Phoenix Suns now, against Chris Paul.
Chris Paul's not even playing.
He's not playing, but against his former team that he never got them to a Western Conference championship, and now he's in a Western Conference championship.
Booker is a problem.
Crazy.
Problem. As
Devin Booker, 40 points.
PG-13 is playing. Yo, there was a stretch where they was going back and forth. It was like the best basketball. I love watching that. When you see two superstars going back and forth like that, that was awesome. Right. That was awesome, man. Like, it was great. So I mean, yeah, go ahead.
Let me ask you now. Yeah. We mentioned it a little bit before. We have the Bucks versus the Hawks, and we have the Clippers versus the Suns. Who do we see in the championship, and who do you think's gonna win?
I want to be Suns Bucks, and I'm gonna. And you know what's funny? Suns Bucks, right? Now, I want to see Chris Paul get one. You know what I mean?
I know,
but I want to see Giannis.
I want to see Giannis get one too.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I know.
Like, I don't know. You know, I think I'm gonna just be completely neutral on this one. I mean, I think Phoenix is the better team because they're like the best defensive team in basketball.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they got Chris Paul at the point guard, and Devin Booker's a problem. But is DeAndre Ayton gonna be skillful enough to stop Giannis? Because I'm pretty sure that's probably who he'll be guarding, right?
Yes. Who else on the Suns can guard?
I don't know. He's not fast enough to guard Giannis, but he's strong enough and he's tall enough. So that's what I say. I don't know. They play really good one-on-one defense in Phoenix, so that's what I'm saying. Like, that's going to be a really good matchup once I have it. But I'm not even rushing it because I'm excited watching this Clippers Suns matchup. So yeah, that's fun. I just want the Bucks to just get rid of the Hawks completely.
Right.
I'm just
Boog, I want to see Bucks Suns too, but I think the Bucks are gonna win. But I would love to see, like you said, Chris Paul get his first chip. Because listen, Chris Paul and Giannis are both future Hall of Famers, right? More Chris Paul because Chris Paul's been in the league more, right? But
like he's already a Hall of Famer now.
Correct, right.
Yeah.
So to complete Chris Paul's legacy, I would love to see Chris Paul win one because, in my opinion,
also too, the Phoenix. Oh, you know what? Phoenix has never won a championship. Clippers has never won a championship.
Right.
And I think the Hawks haven't ever won a championship. So that's three teams that's in there that haven't won a championship. So
right.
You know, the Bucks won one with Lou Alcindor and
back in the day.
And Alvin Robinson. So they got one.
Right.
But
Oscar Robinson.
I mean, I said Alvin. That's a whole different player.
You pulling a Lou? You pulling a me?
That's definitely a Lou DiMartino gaff right there.
Right, yeah, for sure. No, but I would again, Giannis, Chris Paul. I think that would be a great series, Bucks versus Suns. And you know what? I'm really surprised that the Jazz lost that series against the Clippers.
Well, remember Conley was hurt. You know what I'm saying? They played and he played hurt the last game. So
I know, but they had such a good year, and Mitchell was having such a good year. Gobert was having such a good year. It sucks to see that their series that it ended.
But their window is larger than the Clippers, so I'm okay with the Clippers beating them.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah,
you know
the Jazz aren't going anywhere.
Yeah, they're gonna be good next year too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? All right, so now for the play
of
the week. Poor Embiid. Not only do you have to go home, you caught the helmet of helmets.
And the helmet of helmets at Collins. What did Collins do exactly, Boogie?
Collins went to his post-game interview, with a shirt of him dunking on Embiid with sunglasses. He had sunglasses on with him dunking over Embiid. I was like, wow, this team is really cocky, boy.
Right.
Like, we got to get them out of here.
Well, they're the underdogs. Listen, I don't blame them, both. They're the underdogs everywhere they go.
They're doing what they're supposed to do. They're doing what they're supposed to do. But
Thanks,
they beat
Bobby.
my Knicks. They beat my Knicks. So.
Right. Well, let's watch this.
Looking for his first basket of the quarter. Lobs. Oh, Collins with one hand on top of Embiid. Oh, my. And Embiid is shaken up as well after Collins hammered it home on the big guy.
Wow. Now, this is just a great pass, but a terrific athletic move. Anytime
put him in a headlock
over a 7-foot guy,
you my son.
280 pounds. This is
Simba
jumping. How about the catch?
And
then
insult to
the
injury,
slam
he gets the foul.
Unfortunately for Embiid, he got caught right across the nose.
He's down, and
That was sick. That was sick. The athleticism, and Collins is a free agent next year.
Yes, he is, but I don't think he's going anywhere.
No,
he's having way too much fun over there.
Yeah, no, he's having a great year. For
And
sure.
as a Knicks fan, I don't want him.
Right.
He can go somewhere.
You can go somewhere else.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, go
Get out of
somewhere.
here, you bastard. Fucking right. Exactly. But all right, Boogie Hollis, do we have any other highlights for the week?
Nope, that's it, man.
All right, buddy. Well,
That's it.
look, Boogie, we have not much New York stuff to look forward to, right? The basketball is over. Football is not really that close.
We just got baseball. I mean, we got Liberty and we got the Islanders, but it seems that true to New York sports land don't show no love to the Islanders or the Liberty for some reason.
Right,
I personally watched the Liberty. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a Rangers fan.
Right.
But it seems that nobody wants to talk about that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start incorporating you guys into the show. So look forward to next week. We're gonna actually have like call-ins, like talk radio. We're gonna have call-ins. I'm gonna put a link in the comments, and you guys can come in and ask a question or make a statement, as we're talking. And then we're actually gonna have a little contests and giveaways and stuff like that too. All right. So we're gonna flip it up. We're gonna flip it out a little bit. Change it around just to give us more content and keep you guys interest.
Sounds like a plan, Boogie. And once again, Sports Talk, episode number 36, brought to you by 106th Street Tire and Wheel. Get your automotive stuff done at 106th Street Tire and Wheel in Corona, New York. Get your automotive stuff done there today. Boogie Hollis, always a pleasure. Episode number 36 in the books. We'll see all of you guys next week, and we'll be nice and prepared. We're gonna have lots of giveaways, like we said, call-ins, all that good stuff. So
we want all you guys to show up.
Well, all you guys to show up. So until next week, we will see you then. Episode 36 in the books. You guys have a good rest of your day, and let's go, Mets. Oh God, that hurt to say. Ugh.